Be prepared for the worst.
I better get my glasses on there, huh?
They're very country.
I wonder if it's Scott Fisher, is it? Kind of hair and like curly hair. I don't know.
I don't think that's the.
Well, one hand looks better than the other.
Yeah, this one is uncooperative.
Morning.
Please rise to the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call to order, all are present. Item 4.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the April 27th meeting.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 4 on the agenda, the minutes of the April 27th meeting. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to approve item number 5 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 5 on the agenda to approve the cash disbursements or electronic payments. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried.
Make a motion to approve item number 6 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 6 on the agenda to approve the seminar requests or payments for seminars. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So carried. So,
Make a motion to approve item number 7 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
motion by Commissioner Arnold, second by, motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 7, approve and ratify the hiring of Grant Shelp of Montrose to the part-time position of corrections officers. Questions or comments? Bruce?
Is this gentleman a relation of the warden?
My understanding it is.
Thank you.
You have a question?
Oh, that was my question too. Is he related? Because that's like the third Shelp in our county that's working.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried.
I make a motion to approve item number 8 is listed on our agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 8 on the agenda to approve Commissioner Zawiski of Great Bend to the open part-time position of corrections officer. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried.
Make a motion to approve item number 9 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 9 on the agenda to ratify and acknowledge the transfer of Sue Blazier from second deputy treasurer to the full-time union position of second deputy tax claim, effective May 9th for treasurer tax claim director Jason Miller. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to approve item number 10 is listed on our agenda.
I'll second that.
10, motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to acknowledge the hiring of Sharon James of Susquehanna to the open full-time position of intake officer for the recommendation of Ray Bell Taylor, Director of Domestic Relations. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve item number 11 is listed on our agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve the hiring of Kimberly Gregory of Montrose to the open full-time position of Finance Enforcement Officer for the recommendation of Ray Bell Taylor, Director of Domestic Relations. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to approve item number 12 is listed on our agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 12 on the agenda to approve the appointment of Brenton Hoover of Springville as the Farmer Director of the Susquehanna County Conservation District. Questions or comments? Yes.
Is this an unpaid position?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye. I'll make a motion to approve item number 13 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 13 on the agenda to ratify and update the Susquehanna County Employees Policy Manual replacing the original one, an effective date of June 1st, 2016. Questions or comments?
Will
Yes.
this manual be available for inspection by the public?
Yes. Yes.
Are there any significant changes?
Well, considering how old the other one was, it has a lot of new policies in it, of course, dealing with credit cards, dealing with things like that, dealing with leaves, you know, to bring it in line with what the federal mandates are, FMLA and all those things.
Are there any maternity leaves in the new manual? And what are they? Any maternity?
Maternity leaves, yeah, that's in there.
Do you know what it is now? What's the
I can
latest?
tell you off the top of my head. All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve item number 14 is listed on our agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 14 on the agenda to adopt Proclamation 2016-08, proclaiming May as Older Americans Awareness Month. Questions or comments? Yes.
Is that something new? Have we had this
No,
before?
it's
It's old.
It's, I think it's a new one for this county, I'm not positive or not, but I think it's a new one for this county, but definitely
And whose idea was it? How's it promoted?
promoted through the,
Area Agency on Aging.
yeah. Any other questions? I don't know what old means, but,
Old, it says
Ask me
older,
tomorrow.
well, it says older Americans, right?
yeah.
That's not
Older,
you.
older than what, though?
Older than what? Yeah, older than dirt? I mean,
Go ahead.
It has to do with recognizing that older Americans bring something to the table, they have a history, you know, they know what's been going on, and to utilize, you know, their services when needed. It's not a slam.
it's an honoring, some kind of honoring
Soylent Greenest people.
No, it's just, it is basically giving recognition to the people that,
recognition, yeah.
you know, that have been around longer than
Do we get a sign in front of the courthouse?
Yeah, just go away.
Older people?
You know, but it's, you know, there's a lot of community, like the grandfathers of the community that have a lot of information that, you know, people do go to get information.
No, well, I have a question then. Other than this announcement at this meeting, is there any other countywide recognition of older people other than we're now making it older people?
Well, they do have the senior fairs that they put together and things like that. They do that too.
Who's they?
Actually, I think
Tina
Tina Pickett does that one.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
All in favor? Aye. Item 15.
Younger.
Make a motion to approve item number 15 is listed on our agenda.
I'll second that.
Item 15, motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to adopt Proclamation 2016-09 proclaiming May 15th through the 21st, 2016 as Police Week in Susquehanna County. Questions or comments?
And that's been done before too, or is this new?
I believe that one has been done before.
So we're recognizing the police.
Right. All in favor?
Aye.
Public comment. Vera?
You go, you go.
Oh, yeah.
In the last meeting, it was mentioned that there's going to be a proposed hazardous waste incinerator in New Milford Township.
Well, first of all, there was never anything said about hazardous waste incinerator.
Well,
And there was no proposal.
well, it was tabled
It wasn't tabled. There was a
Was it in
discussion and a
public comment?
question, and that was
in
it,
public comment.
in public comment.
Okay, is there going to be,
There is no plans, there is nothing at the planning office, there is nothing that we have that says anything like that's gonna happen.
okay,
Somebody did talk about it, and I did have a conversation with a couple gentlemen,
okay.
but that was all it was. Now, I've also had a guy come in and said he wanted 100 acres to put 3 million chickens in to have a laying farm.
For real?
Now,
For real?
well, I wouldn't be saying if it wasn't. Now, a guy wants to bring 3 million chickens here and have a laying farm.
Oh my God.
Now,
Did
I had a
it-
conversation, did he ever come back? No. I mean, I have lots of people call me and say, hey, you know, I'm looking to try and do this, you know, do you have land there? Do you have opportunities there? Of course, the answer is always, we always have opportunities. Now, have anybody ever filed anything to do anything? No. There's no plans with planning or anything like that to do anything.
There's nothing going on.
I mean, there was a plan at one time to have a Walmart here. That didn't happen either, you know?
Because I was concerned about these, do you know anything about the investment group Tyler's Corners?
Just a very little bit, and that's it. All I know, it's a group of investors.
Do you know who they are or anything?
I don't have that information.
And are they the ones that have been asking about a space for an incinerator?
No, they were the ones looking at the industrial park itself. They
Which-
weren't the group with the incinerator.
Which industrial park?
They're looking at trying to put an industrial park in Susquehanna County.
And are they the ones that are looking at the Shaker property as a possible industrial park?
Yes.
So have they, as far as you know, have they bought the property yet?
No. Well, like I said, there's nothing has, other than people shooting breeze in the air, nothing has happened. Nobody's filed any plans. Nobody's made a commitment. Nobody's done nothing. So I don't know if you want to take all the things that people say, like we're going to have a 3 million chicken laying farm here, we're going to have a Walmart, we're going to have this, we're going to have that, and it's all concrete. When people have a general conversation, that's totally false.
Well,
It's all speculation.
Yeah, see, because I just heard about this, and I know about compressor stations, how they went in the beginning, and neighbors weren't notified or nothing was said, and then there they are. So I was just concerned that,
Well, everybody was
Well,
notified,
I
because,
wasn't.
well, no, now wait a minute, now don't say that, because, you know, back in 2011, there was a meeting that was held with all the township supervisors and with all the borough council people to go over this whole Act 13 and gas industry to find out if people wanted to be in or not. And it was the responsibility of those groups to notify the public, and it was all publicized. And everybody said, hey, we want the gas industry, I want the bag of coins, I want the money. Well, there you go, you got the bag of money.
And the
So don't
bank,
tell me you didn't know about it. I mean, unless you were living under a rock, didn't know anything,
No.
you knew about it.
well, we didn't know anything in 2008 though, or 2009,
Yeah.
hardly anything,
Well,
if anything.
2009, they weren't doing anything.
They were drilling in 2009, and they started drilling actually and putting sites in 2008.
Right.
And did we have public meetings then
Well,
about the
people
gas?
were- Well, you were aware of what was going on, weren't you?
No, the only way I was aware is because a neighbor told me, go to the farm and
Okay,
you
so the
see,
neighbor knew about it.
because they happen to live near a farm, that the drill rig just appeared.
Any other public comment?
Excuse me,
She
are
must have-
we talking about?
The incinerator, yeah.
I'm sorry, I was a little bit late.
Okay, what's your question?
Well, I heard that you were approving an incinerator. to-
Well, I don't know who's telling you that, but they have no clue what they're talking about, and they lied to you. Simple as
Well,
that.
excuse me, but I think that the planning commission talked about an incinerator.
Well, I don't know what they said, but there is no plans, there's been no approval, there is no nothing.
Nothing, right, there really is nothing. And then what about
Well,
the,
Excuse me, but
go ahead.
I have an opinion about an incinerator,
No, that's fine, okay.
and I had some questions. I was wondering why we need one. I did listen to the video from the last meeting,
Mhm.
and you were talking about incinerating things that people have on their kitchen sinks and paint, things like that,
Mhm.
and no hospital waste, and no oil and gas waste.
Mhm.
So that makes me wonder, do we have enough, do citizens, residents have enough toxic material to warrant building an incinerator?
Well, let's see, we just did a drug take back a week ago and took over, 300 pounds of prescription drugs off the street that need to be incinerated.
But in your video, you said you were not taking medical.
That's not medical waste. Medical waste comes from a hospital, that's blood and things like that.
All right, so.
Prescription drugs being incinerated is not medical waste.
Oh, I would have thought it was medical, but anyway, now, how big is the incinerator going to be? Is it going to be bigger than what we can generate to be incinerated?
Again, it was only a speculation, a discussion. There's no plans, There's no plans of an incinerator. There's no drawings showing the size of the incinerator or the capacity of it.
Why did the issue come up then at all?
Well, the same issue comes up when the guy came to us and said, I want to bring 3 million chickens to the county and have a laying farm. Or when Walmart said, hey, we might be thinking about coming here, and we say, okay, well, Walmart's thinking about coming here. Or when any other business thinks about coming here, and we have a discussion, and then unfortunately, people, before they get all the facts, start assuming things and think the end of the world's coming and we're going to destroy it.
That's why we're here to find out if you're in favor of having an incinerator.
Well, it's not up to me, it's up to the township to make a decision whether it's going to go into their area or not.
Only their township?
Well, yeah, we don't have any control over what people do on their land.
Well, the planning commission, doesn't the planning commission have
The
something?
planning commission can only take and enforce the issues that they have on their books, which is setbacks, and that's it.
Well, incinerators usually are pretty big and require a lot of waste to warrant their building it. And so that's why I was asking you if the residents here have enough to warrant.
Well, it wouldn't be the residents here. I mean, it would be coming from other areas throughout the state, I'm sure, as well as from New York State. So.
Well, it was called hazardous waste, so,
Well, I know who called it hazardous waste. It's not hazardous waste.
well, that's what the planning commission,
Again, they don't have anything they don't have any briefs, they don't have any documents, they don't have any drawings, they don't have any requests for permits, so I don't know how they could make the assumption as to what it is.
but my point is, the residents of Susquehanna County need to take care of themselves and their needs, but why would we entertain an incinerator that would have to bring in hazardous waste from other areas?
Well, again, you keep using the word hazardous waste, and that's an incorrect term. So it's an incinerator that incinerates products that need to be incinerated instead of going into landfills.
Well, then how would we know what products those were?
Well, that's what they'll do, I'm sure, when they get to the point where they finally design what they want to do, if they ever do anything, or if they even ever come back. I don't know.
Because that would be very important to know what's coming in and then know what's coming out of the stacks.
Well, of course, the assumption you're making then is that what's getting incinerated is coming out of the stacks, and that's not true.
Well, I did read about an incinerator in Ohio that the physicians asked what chemicals were coming out of the stack, and they said, we have no idea. We have no way of knowing.
Well, that's because Ohio doesn't have the same regulations we do. And in Pennsylvania, the regulations are quite different. Not only EPA involved, but DEP's involved, and there's all kinds of sensors and monitors.
Well, will the public be let know exactly what these regulations are and what the technology is and what will be coming in chemically? And
Well, again, that'll be up to, I have not seen any plans. There are no plans. I don't know how many times I need to reiterate that. There are no plans. There's nothing in place to do this at this point in time. There was a general conversation made, and that was it, that I know that the planning director was at. And that conversation took place, and that's all that's ever happened.
Is he the only person that was spoken to, come to about this?
He was there and myself.
And you were there?
And was this a private conversation?
Yes.
It wasn't at a meeting? Now, I looked at the minutes for the March or February meetings of the, what do they call that? I just lost my thought. Ventello's group, Economic Development. And they mentioned the Tyler group and that they were interested in having an incinerator here. So it was mentioned at an actual public meeting. And it's mentioned by the Economic Advisory Group.
Okay, but again, it's all speculation.
Right, it's
There is
speculation.
nothing.
At this point, it's speculation, right.
Right.
But it has been discussed elsewhere besides a private
Okay,
conversation.
well, I'm sure there's people on the street that have had conversations. You've had how many conversations about it? Right?
But not many people know about this.
Well, there's not much to tell. That's what I'm telling you. There's nothing to tell right now, other than that a couple people had a conversation.
Can you give us the names of the people involved in this and the names of the people in this group?
No.
And
The only
how
group you
we-
mentioned was the investment group, right? Tyler
Right.
Corners has an
Right.
interest in this, so we can contact Tyler Corners, see what they might want to do. And they might say something.
Maybe. Any other public comment? Yes.
We'll probably come back to the next meeting and have more questions.
So the thing is, I would suggest too, is for people to go to the economic development meetings, which are public every month, and they can go to the planning commission meetings every month. They could also go talk to the planning commission director to get more updated information, to see if anything new comes in, if they want to be ahead of the issue.
There you go.
And then the other thing I wanted to mention too, that April 20th, I read in the paper that our lieutenant governor was here, Mr. Stack, and he visited the Elk Lake Technical School.
I heard that too.
Yeah, and were you guys informed that he was coming? Any of you?
Absolutely not.
So I consider that really inappropriate behavior of our governor and lieutenant governor, that they're coming into a county, they don't even inform the county commissioners, and they go straight to a school, and they do inform Cabot Oil and Gas, and they take a tour with Cabot Oil and Gas. And they don't even come and see any of the citizens or the elected officials. Don't you consider that inappropriate? Unacceptable?
Well, it's, if you live in Susquehanna County long enough, Vera, you'll be used to that type of treatment.
So what kind of treatment, what would you call that? Do you have a name for that kind of treatment?
I don't know comment. I don't really, they gotta do what they gotta do.
Money.
And meanwhile, a number of our citizen groups have contacted the governor's office many times. We've asked them to come in here to see people who are harmed by Cabot Oil and Gas, which is the #1 DEP violator in the whole county and the whole state. And instead, he comes and visits the #1, over 618 DEP violations. He visits them, but he doesn't come and visit the citizens who've been writing and asking the elected officials in Harrisburg to come here and see what we're going through. The water contamination, the air contamination, all the impacts, and he doesn't come and see that or acknowledge us. That to me is so unacceptable, beyond description. So what kind of a government do we have?
Oh, there you go. Any other questions or comments?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to adjourn. All in favor? We are adjourned.
You can just ask him now, yeah. You don't have anything scheduled, do you, Alan, to meet again with the Tyler group? Anything scheduled?
No?
Nothing scheduled, yeah.
When